Hey guys, this is Austin. Welcome to some of the coolest gaming tech under $100. Kicking off the list is the Nintendo 2DS. While this was in the very first Is It Worth It episode a couple years ago, it's recently seen a big price cut down to $80, and that includes Mario Kart 7. For this kind of money, the 2DS is a surprisingly solid choice. At less than half the price of the 3DS XL, you really aren't losing much. It still plays all 3DS games, and with a library 5 years deep, you are not going to be lacking quality games. Super Smash for the 3DS is easily one of the most impressive games for the handheld. It's been optimized massively to be able to run on comparatively weak hardware, but you wouldn't know it by playing. Not only does it stay smooth with responsive controls, but it's a surprisingly full version of the game. Pokemon Alpha Sapphire is the latest addition in the series, and it looks better than ever on the 2DS. While playing on the 3DS XL gives you a bigger screen, there's really not a massive difference. You can also play DS games on the 2DS, which opens up even more awesome options in addition to the Virtual Console titles like Game Boy games, along with NES and Super Nintendo games. Of course, there are a few things you're giving up. The 2DS is lacking any kind of 3D screen, which is why it's called the 2DS. Clever. This really isn't a huge drawback. Most games either don't do much with the 3D effect or don't really take advantage of it at all, and basically all games work fine in 2D mode. You've also got the slightly odd shape, which drops the clamshell design for a flatter look. You're losing some portability, but it feels comfortable even if you've got larger hands, and while the build is definitely on the plastic side, it's totally usable. One of the biggest things you're giving up is audio quality with only a single small speaker. It's fine, but you'll probably want to use headphones. For $80 though, if you've never gotten into the 3DS line, this is the perfect time to jump in. Continuing down the world of price cuts is the PlayStation TV. At $100, this was an interesting micro console, but you can easily pick these up for $40 now. For the price of a single game, you're getting what's essentially a PS Vita without a screen that you connect to a TV. This means in addition to digital titles, you can use physical Vita games, but you'll want to make sure they're compatible. Since there's no touchscreen, some titles won't work. The PS TV is a straight up Vita once you turn it on. The interface is nearly unchanged, which isn't an entirely bad thing. It's downright quick to navigate and easy to understand, but it can be a bit overblown on a large TV. One of the bigger downsides is the resolution. It tops out at 720p or 1080i, which just looks dated. It's not a deal breaker, but don't expect to use the PlayStation TV to watch Netflix or YouTube. You do have a fair few options for games though. In addition to Vita titles, you can play PSP games, which while definitely not intended to be played on a giant TV, work fine. You can also play PS1 classics along with PlayStation Now. This is reliant on having a solid internet connection, which can be an issue on the TV since it has fairly weak Wi-Fi, so you'll probably want to consider using Ethernet. However, this opens up the library of PS3 titles you can stream, and being limited to 720p really doesn't hurt it at all here. Even though the $40 price tag is hard to argue with, there are a few things you'll want to keep in mind. The base model only comes with a power adapter and an HDMI cable, which means you'll need to supply your own DualShock 3 or 4, which probably won't be an issue. You'll also need to spring for a PS Vita memory card though, which can get pricey. The PlayStation TV has a little bit of internal memory, but you'll almost definitely need to pick up a memory card for all but the most basic use. The PlayStation TV is being phased out soon, but while it's still available for so cheap, it is absolutely worth it. Changing gears a little, we have the Valve Steam Link. For $50, you're getting a streaming box that allows you to play games from your PC across your network. It's a simple little box that gives you HDMI to a TV, 3 USB ports, and an Ethernet jack. It also has fairly solid AC wireless built in, but you should use wired if you can. As long as you have a gaming PC with Steam installed on the same network, the Link should be able to find it and mirror your display in big picture mode. It works with a mouse and keyboard, along with normal USB controllers like from the Xbox One. Get into a game and things work pretty well. For my setup, both the PC and Steam Link are on Wi-Fi, so there's a bit of latency, but it's pretty manageable. The biggest issue is the occasional dropped frame. It can stream at 1080p at 60 frames, and the picture quality is solid. If you look closely, there are a few compression artifacts, but overall it's impressive. Since everything is handled over your home network, this is a surprisingly cool way to play PC games on your couch without having to move your computer. As always, I'll have links to everything I talked about in the description of this video, and if you guys enjoyed, definitely be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.